You're listening to the Lazy Entra podcast, productivity, automation, and outsourcing tips so that you can work less and live more. Here is your host, Jason Dulé.
A couple of months into the business, I was getting around 50 emails a day with concerns ranging from product inquiries to after-sales support questions and collaboration proposals. Email was and still is my primary and preferred method of communication. In a typical day, when I was still new, I'd spend around 3 or 4 hours just responding to inquiries, and by the time I'd be done responding to emails, I was usually too tired to get on with anything else, like product development or improving my marketing. I realized that if I wanted the business to grow, I had to spend less time and, more importantly, less energy on writing emails. I knew I had to delegate this task out to a virtual assistant. But I was a bit hesitant to do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I wanted my prospects and customers to still feel that personal touch, that I cared enough about them to personally respond to their inquiries. Now, it wasn't that I didn't care anymore. It's just that I didn't have the time to personally respond to my ever-growing number of emails per day. My second hesitation was that even though most of the emails I was receiving were repetitive and could be delegated to a virtual assistant, there were some things that I still wanted to personally respond to, such as outreach emails and potential collaborations. My third hesitation was that, honestly, I was worried that my VA might mess things up. What if they made major grammar errors or said something that was totally incorrect? And my fourth hesitation was that I wasn't exactly comfortable giving out my password to my email address to anyone else. Now, despite my concerns, I realized that delegating emails was a must. So I decided to do some research to quell my hesitations, and I took some actions to make sure things were done correctly. The first thing I did was identify, list down, and categorize those emails that were repetitive. Things like product inquiries, support questions, prospects reaching out to me, people asking for advice. And you know what? I was surprised to find out that around 90% of my emails were mostly about the same things over and over again. So from this list of repetitive emails, I did 3 things. First thing I did was that for repetitive product inquiries and pre-sales questions, I highlighted the answers to those questions on my sales page and my website. This eliminated a really good percentage of the repetitive questions. Next, for support concerns, I created help documents and video tutorials to help my customers use the product. And I added a link to these documents and tutorials in my onboarding emails. That also eliminated a lot of the support questions and concerns. Third, I created around 30 response templates for the different repetitive questions and concerns in the list. This way, there was very little room for anyone to mess up. If I hired a virtual assistant to reply to my emails, all they'd need to do is identify what the email was about, choose the right template, and hit send. Once I did these actions, I was a lot more confident about delegating my emails out to a virtual assistant. Now, I've actually outlined my VA hiring process in other episodes, and I have an ultimate VA hiring guide over at lazyandtrep.com/VA, so I'm not really going to discuss it here. But I did end up hiring a virtual assistant to help me with my emails. When hiring a VA to handle emails, one decision you have to make is, do you give them your password or not? Thankfully, Gmail for Work has delegation rules where you can have someone else respond to your emails. So you don't need to give your VA your precious email password. However, with email delegation, be aware that the recipient sees that someone else is responding on behalf of you, so it's not entirely seamless. On the plus side, they don't actually have access to your account. They can just see and reply to your emails. Now that I have a VA handling my emails, it's like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders. I have more time to focus on the important things in my business and to do the things I really want to do. I still respond to emails that my VA can't handle, but it's taken my time doing emails from 4 hours to around 30 minutes a day. And as my VA learns more and more about the business, I'm also having him slowly respond to more emails. So as time goes by, I will be spending less and less time responding to them. Once again, if you want to check out my free ultimate guide to hiring VAs, please go to lazyandtrep.com/VA. Thank you for listening to the Lazy and Trep podcast. If you found these tips helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you left a review on iTunes. Even if it's just a couple of words, it'd be a huge help. You can find a link to review us on our show notes page or on our website, lazyandtrep.com. Till next time.